Do you want to raise obedient children? If you do, listen to this argument against raising children to be obedient and think again. Let me know what you think in the comments section. As parents, we want to raise obedient children. We want them to listen to us. We want them to follow our orders. If they do not do as we say, especially in public settings, we feel embarrassed. We feel like we are not good enough as parents. This then leads us to do things so that our children are obedient. What do we do to get obedience from our children? In order to teach our children to be obedient, most parents would resort to punishment, either physical or emotional. This includes causing pain to the children by sometimes just holding back attention, like ignoring the child causes emotional pain, for example. So basically it's about causing pain or holding back rewards. These methods are used to ensure that the children become obedient. Okay, right. What happens to a child that is obedient? When a child is taught to be obedient by administering painful actions, or by holding back rewards by the parents, the child learns how to stop thinking, how to stop feeling. The child just teaches himself or herself to follow orders without any thinking or feeling. Now, this is bad for the child, because when a child deliberately stops himself or herself from thinking, what happens is she is or he is limiting the development of the necessary neural network in the brain. So this is limiting your child's healthy mental development. So this is the effect that you are creating in your child. So do you really want to get your children to be obedient at this cost? Why do we do it? Why can't we have another alternative? What alternative do we have? Let's explore those. So when a child is taught to be obedient, in the process of teaching the child to be obedient effectively, parents are stopping the child's development of its ability, of his or her ability to think, and next to feel. Apart from that, a child also learns how to not stand up to others for his or her own right. So first, stop thinking. Second, stop feeling. Third, stop standing up. The child never learns how to say no. Okay, so the fourth is they don't say no. And fifth is the child is hypersensitized towards power dynamics in any settings, and whenever the child finds himself or herself in a new setting, they will be scanning that setting to find out who is the person with the power, or who is the person with the authority, and they would then set to obey and follow orders from this person. So they never learn to make decisions on their own. They never learn to stand up. They never learn to think. They never learn to feel, meaning empathize. They never learn to empathize. They actually kill their ability to empathize. And in any new setting, they scan the environment, identify the individual, identify the power dynamics at play in this new setting, identify the individual that is with authority and obeys this individual. At this stage, you may argue with me that it's not necessary that the child or a child who is taught to be obedient would have stunted their ability to think and feel. You may argue that I'm very good at thinking, I'm very good at feeling, so I will teach my child thinking and feeling. In other words, cognitive abilities and emotional intelligence. I would teach my child. And what's wrong with playing along with power dynamics in social settings? Isn't that a skill needed to succeed in life today? Or perhaps you may argue with me that it is perfectly all right to be agreeable. Agreeable is a good quality. Yeah, in other words, unable to say no in most cases, or not being able to stand up for their own rights is not necessarily bad. They would lead a harmonious life. Some of us may think that way because that's how we have been living our lives, and we have jobs that we've been able to keep for our entire life. Well, I would like to share with you some of the harmful effects of instilling these 5 attributes in your children. Okay, among others, there is statistic to support that all victims of bullying are children who could not stand up for their own rights. All victims of rape, children who are victims of rape, are children who never learned how to say no. Okay? And apart from that, these incidents were allowed to happen by quiet bystanders. Yes, people could scan a given setting to identify who are the authoritative individuals who are calling out shots in a given circumstance, and they choose to become quiet bystanders even if they are not participating in the wrongful act of any form of bullying or even invasion of an individual's rights, amongst other things like assault and rape. Yeah? These are the kind of people, whether as children, as teenagers, young children, toddlers, teenagers, or even adults, who are quiet bystanders, who let these incidents just happen. They just keep quiet about it because they are just subjecting themselves or submitting themselves to the authoritative individuals in that setting, the most powerful individual in that setting. And this is really bad. Okay? So, isn't this the reason why we have corrupt leaders today? Because the majority of us have chosen to take the safe path of not standing up for our rights. We take the option of never saying no. We take the easier path of just keeping quiet, being silent bystanders, even though we are not actively participating. Some of us have even learned to get benefits from such practices, but in the long run, we end up losing big, because when the collective well-being is destroyed, that destruction will get to us. You know very well what I mean. For example, what's happening in schools, yeah? Many of us are quiet bystanders. We just watch, we let it happen. It's okay. A teacher bullies a student. Yes, there are cases of teachers themselves bullying students. A teacher threatens to rape a student. So many quiet bystanders. Why? These are adults and children who have been brought up to just not challenge status quo, to sometimes even participate in this wrongdoing because there is something for them to gain, which is to preserve their job, their rice bowl, if you will. Yeah. So teaching children to be obedient can be to their detriment, yeah, even though we do not see it as such, because there is no way to objectively compare what would have happened to this child if the child was brought up to be principle centered instead of to be obedient. Yes, the alternative parenting should be principle centered parenting, where you teach children to be principle centered. We will explore this in another video. And I hope this video has been useful, and I hope I have managed to convince you to avoid parenting for obedience. And if you have any comments or questions, please do leave your comments in the comment section and I will address those in an upcoming video. Thank you for watching and have a great week ahead. Bye bye. See you again real soon.